Dear brothers and sisters, we are here visiting one of the local museums, and our Montenegrin museum is in contact with all of the museums here in city of Vancouver, because our Montenegrin culture is the culture of Montenegro. Naša crnogorska kultura je dio kanadske kulture. Can you please tell us a few words about this museum?
So this is a house built in 1893 for the Rodi family. The picture is right behind you there. And they were, the father was a German immigrant, and he was one of the city's first bookbinders. So he did quite well for himself, and he had this house built, and it was preserved because it was attributed to a rather famous architect. So it's attributed to Sir Francis Brattenbury, who was the architect of the Parliament buildings in Victoria, the old courthouse, which is now the art gallery, and also the Empress Hotel. So they decided to preserve this as one of his domestic residences that he built.
Beautiful. The first Montenegrin who came in Canada was Ivo Martinović, or John Martin, in Burnaby in 1863. So his stuffs are preserved, some of his stuffs in a village museum in Burnaby.
Oh, the Burnaby Village?
Yes, Burnaby.
Yeah, we know that one.
Yes,
yeah.
we all love Burnaby. So Burnaby was the first city where Montenegrins came. So for those of you who speak Montenegrin, Ivo Martinović je prvi Crnogorac koji je došao u Burnaby 1863. godine i on je kasnije promijenio ime John Martin iz Bajica kod Cetinja.
Yeah, this is parlor. It was a special room for entertaining guests. Now, usually the room was closed and they open only when they have guests here. Usually at that time entertainment was like, you see, this is the old stethoscope. It gives you like 3-dimension picture, you can look inside.
Stari stetoskop možemo gledati kako su se stari ljudi zabavljali u to vrijeme, kako je to bilo zanimljivo, znači da jednostavno uveličaju fotografije stetoskopom. 100 years at least ago or more.
You speak Czech?
No, I speak Montenegrin. Pita me gospođa da li ja govorim češki, ja kažem razumijem, ali ja zborim crnogorski. Da.
Okay.
Yeah. Montenegro, yes, Montenegro has its own language, its own culture, and we are glad to be present in Canadian culture. And when I spoke to Minister of Heritage and Culture, said yes, we will be part of Canadian Heritage and Culture. Kad sam govorio sa ministarkom kulture i nasljeđa, rekao sam da će naša crnogorska kultura da bude dio kanadske kulture kao što i jeste.
Okay, so this is typical Victorian house.
To je stara viktorijanska kuća.
It called Queen Anne revival style. What is special about, as you can see, octagonal shape, high ceiling that gives acoustics. The house around has a lot of verandas and it's not symmetrical, and in the top has a turret. When we will go upstairs, I will show you. Here is the architect of the house. He was British. He arrived in Vancouver as a young architect, and through associate with Mr. Rode, that he was the first book binder in Vancouver, he started to plan and build this house. Later on, he became very famous. All the iconic buildings in Vancouver and Victoria were built by him. And there is a story about him. I won't go into details. You can read about Rottenberry. Now, this is, as I say, it was entertainment room.
Ovo je bila soba za rekreaciju.
Yeah, children were only allowed to play piano by supervision.
Djeci je samo bilo dozvoljeno da sviraju klavir uz asistenciju nečiju.
Otherwise, the room was closed.
Inače, soba je bila zatvorena, stalno.
Yeah. And now, when the house was renovated,
Kada je kuća bila renovirana,
they decided that it will be museum, a family of Rode descendants.
oni su odlučili da pretvore kuću u muzej.
They live around in Vancouver and they donated a lot of original stuff. Otherwise, the furniture and other objects are from less or more this area and were acquired or donated. Like this piano, as you can see, it's a very old piano, was donated from New York. It's a little bit older than this house, but it's very old. That belonged to the family. Here you have pictures of Rode family and descendants. This is original. It belonged to the family. You can see all the items are family. Like these medals, they have two sons that served in World War I.
Imali su dva sina koji su služili u Prvom svjetskom ratu.
And when they returned from the war, they got medals.
Kada su se vratili iz rata, onda su dobili medalje.
This belonged to the family and actually was standing in this place, and you can see they have original notes.
Ovo je veoma interesantno, stare note. Is this piano in use?
Yes, we have actually every Thursday in the end of the month. Last Thursday we have here piano concert. If you play, you can play. It's well tuned and I can see you study once.
Sigurno znate ovu pjesmu, kao djeca smo je učili. Yeah.
This is the fireplace, the only one in the home except a furnace in the kitchen. So winter time only they open this fireplace when they have guests. And this is, guess what it is? They took castan and they bake over the fire.
Dear Mrs. Anna,
Yes.
when we officially open Montenegrin Museum, would you come and visit us?
Of course.
Thank you. We need cooperation with all Canadian museums. We will call Premier, we will call Mayor of BC, Mayor of Vancouver, Member
Where
of Parliament.
it will be this
God's willing, March.
But where?
Granville,
Granville.
not far from here.
Oh, for sure. I
Thank
will
you,
come.
thank you. We will extend invitation. Znači, pozivamo je na otvaranje našeg crnogorskog crkvenog muzeja, Montenegrin Church Museum.
Fantastic.
And here.
This is dining room.
Ovo je dnevna soba, prelijepo. Ivo Martinović has a room in Village Museum of Burnaby. Ivo Martinović ili John Martin ima svoju sobu i nadam se da će nam tu sobu ustupiti kada otvorimo muzej barem na 2-3 dana.
Now, this room, during the winter, not only serve for meals, the children did homework, play games, because this room is close from the kitchen. And we will go later on. And in the kitchen, we have a big stove that was working from the evening to from the morning until evening. So all the warmth from the kitchen came here, and they could enjoy the warm winter time.
Ovdje su djeca provodila vrijeme, pisala domaće zadatke i igrala se.
Now, this is, as you can see, we have
Božićno drvo,
decorated-
božićna jelka.
Yeah. Now, there is a story about Christmas tree in this house. In this place, Rode family always had Christmas time, Christmas tree. And usually they kept this tree alive until beginning of January when Gustav has his birthday. And at that time they didn't have lights like this. They used
Candles.
candles
Imali su
that
svijeće.
they attach to the tree.
Yes.
And one January that tree was quite dry and it got a fire.
Jednog januara je izgorela jelka, da.
And the fire extended, burned part of this
I plamen je izgorio pola plafona, da.
Thankfully, we have on the next corner still the same fire department. Somebody ran, called the help, and they came fast enough to save this house. Otherwise, it will be gone.
Hvala Bogu i vatrogasno što su spasili ovu kuću od požara.
Yeah.
And here is Queen Victoria.
Yeah, this is portrait of Queen Victoria, actually sketched by one of the granddaughters. And I didn't mention, like, Gustav and Matilda, they were German. They spoke German. This is the later pictures. He came from Germany already as a bookbinder.
On je došao kao štampar iz Njemačke.
Yeah.
Gustav i Matilda.
Yeah. She spoke German and they actually met in Ohio when he arrived at age 20, and he was supposed to meet his uncle. Unfortunately, his uncle died from fever, yellow fever, and he was alone. He met Matilda in the German society that got married, and they moved to California. At that time, in United States, they started with, they started unions, and Gustav didn't like the idea that union will tell him about condition and everything. He wanted to be independent businessman. So eventually he moved to Victoria, and after a year he came to Vancouver. He opened his business and it was going very well. And soon he also had printing company and he was doing well. So as you can see, this house, after a few years, he could afford to buy a land and to build this house.
Beautiful.
Now this is a paper actually that he invented to wrap his books, and it looks like a letter. So when it was renovation, we put on the wall to show, this showcase. Now this wallpaper was replaced with original, but based on the pictures, it's the same printed like it was in the times when they live here.
Beautiful, beautiful. This picture?
This picture is from the time, doesn't have any significance. This bedroom.
Beautiful bed, beautiful bed.
Yeah. As you can see, the bed is quite small.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the babies. They have...
Interesantno, imate staklene cucle za baby, odnosno flašice, staklene.
Yeah.
Not plastic ones, as today, yeah.
Of course. They have 6 own children.
Oni su imali 6 djece, da?
And 7 adopted.
I 7 djece koji su oni usvojili. Kako su djeca slatka bila ovdje i njihove slike ozbiljne, jako ozbiljne.
The baby in the picture picture was born actually still in Ohio.
Ova beba je rođena u
It
Ohaju.
was the first daughter, and actually she didn't live long. When she was 4 years old, she went outside, ate some poison berry, and they couldn't save her.
Ja, ona je nažalost umrla. Interested shoes. Da pogledamo kako su cipele imali ljudi u ovo doba.
Yeah, this is how they dress, and this is also
Gustav, kako su se oblačili.
later.
Da.
As you can see, they didn't have running water. This is how they wash themselves, and this is in every room you will see this bowl and for a water.
Moja žena bi powiedziała kolišnji, like old fashion. Kolišnji pieśni,
I don't know.
kolišnji,
the word.
like old. Stare, ja.
Okay. So anyway, do you know what it is?
This is, što bi ovo moglo da bude, što mislite?
This is, they put a coal, hot coal, put under mattress, and winter time they warm the bed.
A ovdje su stavljali, zamislite, pravi žar iz peći i to da ih grije kada je studeno. Kako su se sjetili, ovo je baš za muzej, over 100 years, so stavi ispod dušeka ovo, da kažemo, tiganj sa žarem i tako se griju.
As I say, they didn't have running water, so they have to save water.
They had happier life without Facebook and without internet. Imali su ljepši život bez Facebooka.
Now, this is the shirt that Gustav wore every day to work.
Ovo je košulja koju je on oblačio svakog dana dok je radio.
Probably it was washed one a week, but to look crisp and fresh, he changed every day a color that he put with his suit, so he look fresh.
Da bi košulja se prala jednom nedeljno, ali je stavio kolir, like a Roman Catholic and Protestant clergy.
Exactly.
Kao ministri rimokatolički protestantski što stavljaju kolire. And from that cut, all educated people had a collar.
Exactly.
Yes. Svi obrazovani ljudi su imali kolire.
This is the corset that
Ovo je za djevojčice.
wore. Now, as you can see, the bed is small, but they both were very tiny. Matilda was like 4'8", and he was a little bit bigger. Outdoor,
To wash, yes. Nisi često u kući, nego su se tako...
And during the night they use this.
Yes, beautiful.
Now, we will see on the second floor, he built fully equipped bathroom with bathtub, bathroom, washroom, but about 10 years they couldn't use it because there wasn't sewage, there wasn't running water. But he built something very innovative. In each room there is a wardrobe closet. They keep clothes here. What at that time was very unusual. People usually had this bulky closet here that took away a lot of space. Now this is this is then when Gustav came home. He closed the door.
Kad je Gustav došao kući, koji je imao štampariju, on je zatvorio vrata i radio ođe.
Took his pipe and enjoy peace and quiet.
Onda je uzeo svoju lulu i onda je zapalio lulu i uživao u radu i poslu.
This is his picture in his business. As you can see, he used to have 2 San Bernard dogs. They went with him to business, and he was also hunting.
On je također bio lovac, evo lovački trofej, stamp collector, evo marke, stari radio. We have one old radio for Montenegrin museum, similar like that, yes, and typewriter.
This is the old newspaper Now, this sewing machine, it's original, and actually he used this machine to sew the pages of the book that he did. As I said.
Amazing. On je šivaćao mašinom stranice knjige. Kako je
You see, he was bookbinder, so he did it.
Povezivao je knjige. And this is a beautiful vitrine.
Yeah, collection of the items from this area. This all belong to the Rode family. You see, original German books that he brought with him. This is family tree, and if you go to the end, you can see that still we have descendants from the Rode family that come and visit us.
Beautiful.
Here. This is the Rode house. How it looked.
Kako je izgledalo nekada, jeste?
Yeah, before, because Rode family sold this house, and it became like boarding house. They rented for renters, and it was totally destroyed.
Beautiful.
And when the city, we decided to transfer this to museum, so it took a lot of years to restore this house to the original.
He has encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Lexicon, encyclopedia, diplomas.
And this is the old printing machine. That
Stara štamparska mašina.
Yeah, you can see here.
Evo, vidite i slova, slovoslagač.
Yeah.
Kao nekada Jovan Tomašević na Cetinje, on je bio slovoslagač, naš veliki revolucionar, pokojni Jovan Tomašević.
Yeah. Now let's go upstairs. First we will go to the kitchen.
Sad idemo prvo u kuhinju.
Kitchen, as you can see, is
Evo,
totally original.
Evo kuhinja, ona je originalna.
They heated this on coal and wood.
Znači, oni su to grijali, znači, drvima i ugljem.
This is at that time washing machine.
Ovo je nekad bila, da kažem, washing machine ili sudopera, jeste.
Yeah, and as you can see, the sink is very low because Matilda was very tiny woman, so it was done for her height, especially low.
Znači, ovaj sink je jako mali zato što je ona bila manja žena, manjeg rasta.
Winter time, they usually hang the clothes here.
Za vrijeme zimskog perioda oni su većinom stavljali garderobu ovdje da se suši.
Yeah, because as you know, outdoors they were always winter time down. At that time they were bringing like sugar and all the products in this kind of sacks. And later on, they sew like towels from this now.
Ovo im je bilo kao krpa, kuhinska krpa, jeste.
Still, BC Sugar belongs to the Rogers family.
BC Sugar i dalje pripada Rogers family, and we buy sugar from them for our church, yes.
And it's one of the oldest and richest family in Vancouver.
Mi svi kupujemo šećer od njih, dobar šećer imaju. And that room is silverware, right?
No, this was just storage for, like you can see, storage for the dishes and everything. Now, ignore this, because we had to add this modern stuff and dishwasher. We rent this house on special occasion, like people rent for weddings or special anniversary. So we had to equip this.
Good. Također ovaj muzej se izdaje recimo kada ljudi žele da naprave fine slike za vrijeme vjenčanja ili tako nešto.
But here they stole, the cups.
We have similar coffee maker in our church. Imamo u našoj crnogorskoj crkvi. Yes.
Okay. So
We have a red color because Montenegrin color is red. Mi imamo crveni coffee maker.
oh,
Yes.
nice. So this is, as you can see, the stuff. You know, these things, they are extremely heavy. They put coal, and this is how they iron clothes. What else I can tell you? Everything was storage, like plates on this side. This is original tins that they keep sugar and all the products. It was on shelves.
Cukor, mel and green. Yeah, cukor.
Yeah, this is
I po polski cukor.
Zucker. This is the shape for cookies, you know.
Yes.
Matilda, this didn't change much, as you can see. Matilda was excellent cook and baker.
Imamo i imitaciju jaja.
Yeah. And this is the shapes you see of cookies.
Ona je bila dobra kuvarica.
Yeah, her father actually was in Ohio when they met. He has his own bakery.
Njen otac je imao svoju pekaru.
So she learned from him cooking and baking, and the story tells that actually they met during a Halloween party, and a friend of Gustav introduced Gustav to his sister. And the story tells that he fell in love with Matilda as well with her cooking and baking. At that time it was quite important.
Yes.
So now let's go from, and this is the old...
O, stari telefon.
Yeah, this is how they
Yes.
communicate, you know.
But no numbers to dial, just...
No, for, you know, somebody answer and then connect you.
Lijepa su to vremena bila. Ko za vrijeme kralja Nikole.
Oh, this clock I will mention, even it doesn't belong to the family and history. But this is actually one of the oldest still working clocks in Canada. It belonged previously to the Stanley family. You know who was Lord Stanley.
Lord Stanley, jeste.
Yeah.
Stanley Park.
Stanley Park and Stanley Cup.
Stanley Cup.
And this clock was in family.
Ovaj časovnik je bio u familiji Stanley. Park se zove po njima Stanley Park, čuveni.
And here it's written later was donated to somebody, pastor, and he donated to Rode House when we opened this museum.
On je doniran ovom muzeju kad su ga otvorili, da.
As you can see, it has moon phases above. At that time, people plan a lot of activities with moon.
Mjesečeve mijene su gledali i ljudi su gledali kad je pun mjesec da izbjegavaju. When full moon is, they said no, we don't do the things.
I wanted also pointing out to this. This is Aurora, and it belonged to the family. Now, at that time, possession, family in society was very important. And people that were like middle class or a little bit upper level, by entrance, usually they put this post with statue from bronze. This is not bronze actually, this is pearls. It's a mixture that looks like bronze. And Gustav and Matilda, when they went in 2014 to Europe, they bought it in the Paris and put here.
Beautiful.
Later they took with them, but when we opened museum, they donated also this statue. As you can see, also these windows are original.
Ovi prozori.
Were built when the house was built.
Beautiful.
At that time.
Beautiful, Victorian. We need to work together. Our Montenegrin museum together with your museum and other museums. We are one community.
Yeah.
As our minister says, kao što je naša ministrica kulture rekla, mi smo jedna zajednica, Crnogorski muzej i svi muzeji Vancouvera. Our Montenegrin museum will be standardized by the standards of British Columbia
I see.
because we live here.
Of course.
Biće standardiziran muzejima, po pravilima muzeja Britanske Kolumbije, zato što mi ovdje živimo. Da.
This window, it's not original because was broken, but was replaced. If you, after visiting this museum, go around Berkeley Square, there are still 8 houses that were left from this area. They are antique, old houses. And from one of the houses, this window was replaced here.
Da. Znači, to je u ovom prozoru vitražnom. Izuzetno su interesantne stepenice. Čitav interior je jako lijep.
This we won't go. This was this terrace, like veranda.
Ovo je veranda, nećemo da idemo tamo.
And from there it was beautiful view, but we won't go because stairs are not steady.
Nećemo da idemo, spavaća soba sa lutkicama. Lutkice, to su ljalje na polski.
This is girls' room.
Ovo je soba za djevojčice.
Yeah. And here, as I told you, the girls, when baby was born, was first with the mother, and then they transferred baby here, and the daughters took care of the.
Prvo je beba bila sa majkom, a poslije beba je bila sa sestrama, sa drugim djevojčicama.
And here you can see all the books, all the toys that the girls play.
Igračke i knjige u njihovo doba, slikovnice, kako su interesantne ove lutke tada bile, različitije nego današnje. A također i knjige, slikovnice za djecu. May I have a look on one of the books?
Of course.
Evo kako su bile slikovnice za djecu u to doba. Recimo Girls All Annual.
Yeah.
Or, for example, just to see, časopis. No, this is a notebook.
Yeah.
Knjiga pjesama. Jeste.
All books from this area.
Jeste.
This is a picture of older daughter, Anne-Catherine. Actually, she was the second daughter. And she used to work as a nurse in Vancouver General Hospital. And during her night shift, she got murdered by one crazy patient. So it was another tragedy that struck this family. And at that time, there wasn't any official school for nurses. Later on, they opened in St. Paul Hospital the first school for nurses, and this is the picture from the first graduate from this school. Now, you see, this is regular. They also wash themselves with the water that they brought here. Now, this is original German dolls. They are from porcelain, very heavy and expensive.
Porcelanske lutke.
And they have original human hair.
And imaju ljudsku kosu. Da.
At that time, there wasn't any plastic, so they used holes of human hair for dolls, and the girls could brush them and play with them. They are still in good shape.
Yeah.
This
Very
is
nice.
some samples of clothes.
Very nice, very nice.
You see, they have a tiny tea set, and as you look at the room, it was well-to-do family.
Beautiful, beautiful.
This is also warmer for legs.
A ovo je za noge, da noge budu tople za vrijeme hladnih zimskih mjeseci. Mada nije toliko hladno u Vancouver, is not that cold in Vancouver like Toronto or Edmonton.
Yeah. Oh, let's open. It doesn't open. It's dark.
Veranda.
Here, it was the favorite room of Matilda, when she didn't cook and place and wash and everything, she was sitting in this chair. This is her original chair. You can see how tiny she was. And she was sewing. So she was sewing the laces, she was repairing. This is like it's special machine for socks, you see? She repairs socks with such a big family. She was all the time busy.
Beautiful.
You can imagine.
Beautiful.
This is the old calendar at that time. Here is boys' room.
Ovo je dječačka soba.
As you notice, also in girls' room and boys' room was only one bed, because at that time children slept together. It kept them warm, and this was how it was then. And it's typical boys' room. You see them, they collect stamps, they build a ship. Here are some games.
Beautiful.
So the boys usually they spend a lot of time outdoors. Now, this gentleman that we have to mention is Joe Fortes. He was the first lifeguard in English Bay. And the story of him, he was a sailor on the ship that came from Caribbean. He jumped to the water, swam to the land, and there is a law, whoever jump and swim to the land can stay here. So he stayed on the English Bay, and because he was a sailor and he was good with swimming, he started voluntary to
Save people, to rescue people.
be and work as a lifeguard.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And eventually he saved a lot of people, and city of Vancouver gave him paid job, and he got a place to live, and he became very significant person at English Bay. He also taught all the kids to swim in Rodehouse family. He also spent a lot of time on the boat that they have. And actually the youngest daughter became a first female lifeguard in English Bay when he retired. So he had significant. We have still Joe Fortes, restaurant, library.
Beautiful.
You know, he was a hero here.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
It's a nice story.
Beautiful.
Now pay attention to these green walls.
Beautiful.
Soon I will tell you a story about green wall that was built with this house. You go inside, you see everything. It's so only when they started to build high rises, they connect this to the sewage and could use for a few years.
This is beautiful.
This is Patephone.
Patephone, to je like a gramophone, right?
And this is the first record, if you can see Edison records. They put on this tube, and it gave you the music.
Prva gramofonska ploča je ovako izgledala, znači stavila se, can you show us where? They put it, znači stavila se ovdje,
You see, you could
evo da se vidi malo bolje.
on this.
Znači prva gramofonska ploča ovdje i onda te vrtite rukom i slušate, prelijepo.
And this is how it works.
Still works?
Yes, there is one guy that knows to operate.
Jedan čovjek zna kako se radi, kako se koristi ta mašina, mi ne znamo. Evo ga malo moderniji gramofon, ali tome ćemo poslati.
This is the collection of all kinds of photographers and famous pictures from this area. Like, look at this picture. This picture actually has original gold background, made from gold, and this is how it was a technique at the 19th century to do frames with gold. And this is the old, apparatus for, you can see.
A little bit more modern record player, turntable, not party
This
from
is more that you know with
Yes,
this
yes.
vinyl.
vinyl.
Yeah, so, and this is Mr. Lod's
78, yes, 78.
collection
Yes.
of his records.
Stare gramofonske ploče.
Yeah, he loved
Pliti gramofonni.
he loved classical music, and actually this was in his den originally. When he came home, he took his pipe and listened to the music.
We have our Prince Mirko. He was a composer. He composed Divine Liturgy in Montenegro and many other compositions. Duke, he was son of the king Nicola.
I see.
Montenegro.
This is the exhibition of, we have here contemporary exhibition of kind. This is about German expressionists in art and film.
Da. Ovaj,
We
moderna
changed
izložba.
this. We changed
Moderna
usually
izložba.
this. Now, here we have history of Chinese immigrant in British Columbia. When they start building railroad, a lot of Chinese immigrants arrived to British Columbia, and they settled and built actually Chinatown here.
Beautiful.
But they were not so well accepted by the English society, and the only job that actually they could do is to be a servant in the English family. And they, the family had one Chinese boy that he lived here, and he served all the hard work, that
Imali su kućnu poslugu Kineze.
were needed. He worked and lived here. Now here they are some picture and
Neke fotografije.
sketches of Lode House, how it looked.
Tako nekad izgledalo, da.
And this is how they travel in the beginning.
Kako su nekada putovali sa kočijama.
And this is the picture of English Bay.
Kako je nekad izgledao English Bay.
You'll see this is Sylvia Hotel.
Sylvia Hotel, the oldest.
Before they have this kind of promenade on Sunday, all the English society get together, they have music, they have restaurant. This was the life at the English Bay.
We have one Montenegrin family who works in Sylvia Hotel. They are from capital city Cetinje.
Oh, so this promenade was destroyed during some storm, and they decided not to rebuild because Vancouver cares a lot about sea life and nature.
Yes.
And this noise and this will be
Destroyed.
very disturbing.
Yes, disturbing, yes.
So today, if you go to English Bay and it's low tide, you can still see the basic of this promenade.
Yes. Old kitchen.
Yeah. And this is the end of the tour. Oh, you see, this is the hangar that Mr. Lodell went for ducks. And before, when it was forest here, they have not only deers, wolves, all animals. So he was hunting. This is usually for ducks. And what I wanted to mention you about this green color. At Victorian time, green color, as you can see here, became very popular and very modern. The problem was that it was invented by one of the painters, that he achieved this bright green color, adding arsenic to the paint. So you can imagine when everything was closed, they breathed this arsenic, and a lot of people get sick and were anemic and even die. But this is the story of Victorian time.
Good. Draga braćo i sestre, ovo je posjeta našeg crnogorskog muzeja, jednom od muzeja Vancouvera. Posjećivat ćemo sve muzeje i u Vancouveru i u okolini, jer naša crnogorska kultura je dio kanadske kulture. This is our visit to visit of our Montenegrin museum to this museum in Vancouver, and we will visit all of the museums because we are one society. Our Montenegrin culture is integral culture of Canadian heritage. I naš prvi Crnogorac, mi smo ponosni na njega, koji je došao 1863. godine, bio je pokojni Ivo Martinović ili John Martin iz Bajica kod Cetinja, koji je došao 1863. godine. Thank you for a beautiful tour. You are welcome to come and to visit our Montenegrin museum.
I will thank you for coming.
Thanks for coming here.
Please let your people to come and visit our beautiful museum.
And also I'm encouraging all Montenegrins, bring your old things in museum. We need to show to other Canadians our heritage and our culture. Poruka Crnogorcima, ako imate starih eksponata, molim vas, donirajte našem Crnogorskom muzeju. Mi imamo tradiciju sa kojom možemo da se ponosimo i da Kanađanima pokažemo i reprezentujemo dostojno našu crnogorsku kulturu, kanadsku crnogorsku kulturu. May God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.